Three, two,
Okay, so we're going to
one.
continue through our energy series to where I'm just going to be talking about the energy that's associated with each house and also the sign within the house. So the last one we did was Taurus, my brethren. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into your third house energy, which is going to have to do with Gemini. So, two things. If you see me looking over, it's because I am looking at my notes. And also, if you hear chirping in the background, that's because I'm outside and some chickens that live over there and they're a little noisy. So, yeah, we're going to deal with it though. All right, so we're going into our third house. That everything that has to do with Gemini. So, what? Okay, again, I'm going to give you a little breakdown of the house. I'm going to give you a little breakdown of the energy within the house. And then I'm going to tell you what I love about Gemini energy. And then I'm going to tell you what I don't like about Gemini energy. And then I'm going to tell you how you can kind of spot a Gemini, like how to read them in the room. So let's go. So when it comes to Gemini, the first thing we need to remember is Gemini is all about that communication. So our first house that we talked about was Aries, and Aries is, we know that's the baby, that's the first house. Our second house is Taurus. So within Taurus, it's kind of like you're learning kind of like how to crawl. So Gemini would be, you are now not, also I hate flies, so if you see me doing that, it's because of fly. So third house is with Gemini. Gemini, if you want to think about Gemini in terms of like the growth pattern, Gemini would be when you kind of reach the age of like kindergarten, when you're just kind of learning your ABCs, you're really starting to like grasp the things, the knowledge within your head. You're starting to kind of develop your own sense of like personality and I like this and I like that and oh what's this over here and what's that over there and oh I know how to talk now so now I'm really talkative because you know Gemini's that's all about communication. So think about that. Geminis are about communication. So it's like that energy of almost like somebody or a child who is just learning how to talk. Also, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is our messenger planet. So, which makes sense because they love to talk. Okay, so yeah, Geminis are very social people. That's where you get your third or your third house energy is going to be a very social house. They love a good conversation. Um, they are, yeah, they're air signs. So they're all within, so a lot of their energy comes within like the thinking or the head realm or, you know, receiving the messages from out and it kind of trickles in air wise. So yeah, so that's kind of like a gist of third house Gemini energy. Think communication, communication, communication. Also, Geminis are also known as the twins. So a lot of people tend to see Geminis almost like a dual kind of like sign. They have two sides to their personality, which is often true. And yeah. So let's move on to what it is that I find likable about Gemini energy. What I find to be likable about Gemini energy is that they, I love the intellectualness of a Gemini. Gemini is all about that communication, but then they're also really, really smart. They like to take in a lot of information. So, me personally, I love somebody who is not only physically beautiful, but I also like someone who is also intellectually kind of dominating as well. And that's the Gemini energy for you. It's people, it's kind of reminiscent of Sagittarius energy, which makes sense because they're polar opposites on the wheel. Gemini is the third house, whereas Sagittarius is your ninth house. Gemini deals with a lot of like early education, whereas Sagittarius deals with a lot of your higher level education. So again, always when you think about Geminis, when you think about third house energy, you always want to think about communication. That's number one, and then number two, you want to think about um, just learning, but learning at the first level. So it's like your grade school type of learning. That's Gemini energy. What else do I love about energy? third house energy, Gemini energy. I love the fact that they are very quick-witted. If you know a Gemini, you know that they are very quick with the comebacks. They're good with the communication skills. They have a way with words where they can explain things to you in a way for you to be able to understand them and find the information to be captivating. Again, they love to communicate. So always remember, third house, third house, third house is all about your communication, all about that communication, all about that talking. What else do I love about them? Because it's all about communication, it's all about talking, it's all about stories and storytelling. Gemini or third house folks or people with a lot of third house energy, they make really, really good writers because they're really good at being able to tell stories and tell them in such a captivating way that they are able to capture their audience and keep them, intrigued. That is very true. Now, what I dislike about Gemini energy or third house energy, these folks are the gossipers. This is the gossip. These are the gossip folks. This is that Missy Elliott energy, that, Kazizer energy right here. They're going to gossip. These are gossipy folks. So, and a lot of times with their gossiping, with being able to tell a story, they like to tell the story to which is going to be the most interesting. So within saying that, they like to embellish a little bit when it comes to telling stuff. So if a Gemini is telling you something, you always have to know, take it with a grain of salt. They're going to always make themselves out to be the most grandest person within the story because to them, they're really great at that. They know how to tell a really good story. So hell, if I'm going to tell it, why not make me the freaking best one in the damn story? I mean, I feel y'all on that. However, it can come across as being a little two-faced because you can tell me a side of the story and then you can go over here and tell your other friends another side of the story, because that's another thing. Third house energy, they have a lot of friends. They like to be here, they'll be here, they'll be here, they'll be everywhere. A lot. It's very reminiscent of the Aries energy to a sense, but it's more on the socializing sort of like realm of things, whereas Aries is more of a physical, like, oh, I need to be around you, I need to be doing something. Third house energy is more of, I need to be thinking, I need to be talking, I need to be communicating with different people, I need to know what's going on here, there, all around. They like talking, they're very communicative, so they want to know this person, they want to know that person, they want to know this story, that story, all types of stories. So that's a very third house energy. Because of that, like I said, they can come across to certain people as being a little bit two-faced, because stories might not add up. Might be telling this person this thing, might be telling another person another thing. You just Gemini for you. I wrote down that this should not be mistaken for Libra energy. Now, the thing with Libra's energy or seventh house energy and this thing with third house energy is that they both are air energy. So, and they're both kind of dual, whereas Gemini is kind of like a dual sign. They have two split personalities. Libras are on the lines of they like everything to be balanced, but they both have this tendency to embellish stories, so to speak. Libra does it because they're trying to people please. Gemini does it because they want to appear above here and, be the victor of the story, so to speak. So yeah, so now let's get into how you can spot a Gemini. You're going to know a Gemini. One, let's look at how they dress. Geminis are going to wear a lot of blues. Blues kind of represent your, throat chakra. So look for somebody who wears a lot of blues, a lot of light grays, because, that's reminiscent of the planet Mercury. Geminis also, they smile a lot. You'll find them smiling a lot. Like they like to put on that smile. Especially when they're telling you stories, like they have a really, really great smile. What else? Geminis are very, also, if you're talking to one of them, their sarcasm game is on point. That's that wittiness, that being able to, speak and know how to carry a conversation, to have that kind of je ne sais quoi about themselves and knowing how to, that certain something in every situation. That's what they have. They know how to talk to people and how to convey themselves. So sarcasm is another thing. If you're around somebody who's very sarcastic, or they have somewhat of a, I'm not gonna say dark sense of humor, because that's more of like Scorpio 8th house type of things, but sarcasm, they don't take, very lighthearted in their conversational skills. that's going to be somebody who has a lot of Gemini or could have a lot of Gemini within their chart and whatnot. And yeah, just great conversationalness as well. Like they just conversation skills on point. Yeah, that's a third house for you. So yeah, so that's my rendition or my take on third house energy. So our next house we'll be going to will be fourth house, which is all about them cancers, them crab daddies. So we're gonna get into crabs next and cancers. So yeah. Um yeah. Hope you guys like it. Subscribe if you do. Drop me a comment if you're a Gemini, if you agree with what I have to say. Cool. If you don't, let me know why. If you want to add to the conversation, go ahead and do that as well. But yeah, y'all have a good one.